And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
And welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here, along with Rock Cod Rick Maxa in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. It's so fun being right here because we have guys like Frank Lopresti just stopping by to give us a full report there and watch the fish being unloaded from here, right in the heart of sport fishing world right here in Southern California. And we have a couple great guests who also live right here and operate from here at a Point Loma Sport Fishing, Captain Jake and Mike Frese from Prime Time Sport Fishing, and giving away an amazing prize today.
Boy, yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, not only are we having Jake and Mikey in here talking all about the type of fishing, the great operations they run on Prime Time, the boat, etc., we are also giving away an amazing prize. Pete, you said it best, a brand new full custom rail rod from Batson Enterprises, and I mean, it's a beautiful, it's an absolute custom stick. It's a 7-foot, probably 80 to 100 pound rail rod, rail dog grip, high-end Alps components, a beautiful rod. And again, I mean, I don't even want to guess at the retail value, but probably in that $600 range. I mean, a fantastic custom rod built by Bill Havens from Salty Dog that somebody's going to get at the end of the show today, whether it be a caller or a texter. And how that's going to go down, we'll basically at the end of the show have one potential winner from all of the callers that make it on the air, one potential winner from all of the texters that make it on the air, and then Mikey's going to flip the prize coin that's going to determine whether the winner comes from the caller side or the texter side. So again, if you're sending a text message through that Let's Talk Hookup app, make sure you include your contact info so you're eligible to win that rad prize.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let's jump into the phones there. Pat, they want to talk to these guys.
I want to steal a real quick one. Before we talked, you were talking about smaller jigs and those new tungsten jigs and how those have been a factor. You fish that on the same gear that you would fish a traditional. I mean, 180 gram is 180 gram, no matter what the shape, no matter what the difference. Because they're smaller, do you downsize the tackle, or do you keep the tackle big because it's big fish? Like, how have those changed a little bit? That being the kind of new hot thing on the block right now, is the gear change with it, or does it stay the same?
It can stay the same, depending on what zone you're in. If you're kind of in that more local zone and there's, that 20 to 80 pound fish, you can downsize a hair, but there's almost no need. You're fishing at night, you can fish heavy tackle. Mm-hmm. If you're fishing in that big fish zone, definitely stick with that bigger 100+ pound, outfit.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about yesterday, like the worth of it. Is it worth it? I mean, those jigs they're a bunch. I mean, there's no denying. A tungsten jig that's 150 or 180 grams or 200. Like, by the time you're done with hooks and everything, like, that lure's nearing $100. I mean, by the time
make sure you have heavy line on it.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to fish that thing on 40 pound because they're small and you can get chewed off. It's just, but I mean, I've been trying to keep very close tabs on it in the tackle store also, because that's a big price tag, and I'm very cautious about ever recommending something to somebody that's too much. But man, just like you said, like, every night we keep hearing that over and over and over. Like, man, those things sure got bit. Man, the guys that were fishing that thing sure got bit. And I always think it's twofold. Sometimes guys that are on the leading edge of new stuff are also the guys that are putting a lot of effort into it. And they're probably a real good fishermen, and they've been listening to Let's Talk Hookup. They've been listening to the recommendations of the captains, and those guys are often putting the most effort into it. So if he was just fishing a Colt Sniper, would he have gotten bit just as good? But boy, we sure are hearing it every single night how effective those things are.
So would that be a bait that you would fish during the day? I mean, is that something that like a lot of these jigging guys that are doing? I mean, is that something that would be more effective in the day too? You could
definitely fish that during the day.
Yeah.
We don't do a whole lot of that daytime jigging stuff, because a lot of our guys are less experienced in that. So we're usually doing sinker rig, fly lining, and all that stuff. But I would
flying
say
the kite,
whatever it may be. But I would say that's definitely effective during the day. And
the advantage of going with you guys in the world of kite fishing is you're going with a private charter and 6 guys or 4 guys, however many guys are coming on the trip. That kite bite is shared by the whole squad. When you're on a boat with 30 guys, if you're the right pull or however some people tag team it up or whatever it might be, it's different when it's on an intimate group like what you guys have.
The whole family gets on it, and everybody's taking turns, and
so fun.
It's cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
So cool.
So fun. All right, now let's jump in the phone.
Yeah, you got it, man. How about this time we talk to John, who's called us from Huntington Beach this morning. Hey, John, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. Great show as always. I was on the website and I was wondering how you guys work the open party scenario. Do you have a process for that, or is it just kind of hit and miss? I know you sign up as an email address and then you get notified or something. How does that work?
Yeah, so usually in the beginning of the season, we try to do a couple open party trips. They'll all be posted up on the Point Loma website.
PointLomaSportFishing.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we'll have an email list, and we'll send out an email we'll try to get a package together of a couple opportunities for if you can't make a
so you can
date.
sign up for an email list at PrimetimeSportFishing.com.
Yeah, like a subscription, but you just get updates and stuff like that from us, what's happening, and a couple of different trips for open parties.
Yeah, and so you're going to throw some in here this summer. It's just a matter of when you have an open spot, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, because you have a lot. You have any charter dates available?
We do.
There are openings.
So, and are those on the website?
Yeah, so up-to-date calendar on the website. You can, whatever works for you, when you can go fishing, if you guys are going to book a trip, just go when you can, and everything's up to date.
Yeah, so here's a guy that wants to charter your boat. Corey from Escondido. He says, good morning, guys. I checked out your website, and wow, Primetime sure is beautiful. Pete grabbed my attention with the idea of doing a kayak mothership trip. Is that really an option, he says? Could the boys talk a bit more about how that might work with some buddies that I put together for a mothership charter? And a quick question about the boater's card requirements. Does it apply to kayaks as well? Corey, that's a good question. I don't know that it applies to kayaks. That's something that we probably need to find out.
I would guess it's just like anything else. Probably once you go the route of having to put a motor on those things and get CF numbers, that's probably when you would need it.
Probably right. If you put a motor on it and you have a CF number, I would say that it applies.
But I'm not speaking like I know that. That's just my thought.
But that makes sense. But what do you think, guys?
Absolutely.
Corey wants to do a mothership trip with the kayakers.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
We have plenty of space on the upper deck. We have a davit. We can launch the skiff.
That would be so rad.
Yeah.
Just like a rad Clemente day when the bass are biting good and there's yellows on the kelp line.
For sure.
Yeah.
That
would
be
the skiff
so
on the
cool.
boat.
We could even mix in some, Baja coastal stuff too.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
That'd be rad.
Yeah. Get a bait tank on that skiff, and you can supply baits to the kayaks. Yeah.
That was one thing that I always thought was so cool when the Islander was doing those mothership trips was like, when the kayak would be in there and run out of bait, they just hail them on the handheld radio, and the skiff would run in. The skiff would run in with a cheeseburger and a cold Coors Light and another scoop of sardines. All right, boys, get back after it. I think that's so cool.
It was all good, for sure.
How about just doing that with 5 of your buddies?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. And then coming back to a full gourmet meal that Mike's cooking.
I like it. Sign me up.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, the phones are absolutely packed solid. We need to jump back into those. Rob in Canyon Country is up next here on Let's Talk Hookup. Rob, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning. Great show as usual, guys. Really want to get in on those Dorado and Yellowfin. Where should I be looking, and what's it cost to charter that boat?
Yes. So our day and a half trip's $9,000, and that's all inclusive. Our 2.5's $13,000. Just goes up from there. I would definitely recommend a little bit later in the season, probably in the September, even August, but September, October for Yellowfin and Dorado is your best opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, put this into perspective. A day and a half on the prime time is $9,000. You charter Dwayne Diego at $6,000, right? Or somewhere around there. And that's for 4 people. So you start to do the numbers. That seems pretty reasonable to me for
I was
that
shocked
size
when
of
I
boat.
heard that also.
Yeah, for that size of boat.
A premium, small boat charter, on a boat like Dwayne's or Brandon's or, one of the, like a premium trip, it's flirting with the same cost, and you're doing it for a day and a half with 6 people, and all the food is included, all the, the handling of the fish, all that kind of stuff. I was shocked when I heard that. I was expecting half again as much, just because of the level of boat and the level of service you guys are providing. I was blown away.
Yeah, it's,
sounds like a great deal.
$4,000 to $6,000 for any of those, high-end small boat operations.
Yeah,
sure.
And not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, that's what it should cost on those too. Fuel burn, time, availability. I was expecting a higher ticket price out of what you guys are doing. I was really surprised because you get 6 guys and everybody starts dividing that up amongst your buds. Like, you're getting an incredible experience for not a ton of dough.
Yeah, and
$1,500 a person for a day and a half.
Crazy. Yeah. And the high-end food that we're doing is just it's kind of what's starting to set us apart from everything.
I wouldn't say starting to. You guys are for sure set apart for it. It's not a 7-Eleven sandwich.
Mike, he's the man.
Mike is awesome.
Yeah.
What are some of the meals that you guys kick out? Obviously you guys have done a bunch. What have been some of the favorites that your chef has kicked out on some of your trips, or fan favorites maybe?
Mine was the beef tenderloin that he did with a giant baked potato. And then he made some berry cobbler for dessert. It was good.
That's cool.
Ribeye the other night was pretty tasty.
Oh, okay.
He's done some braised pork,
ribs.
Oh God, his ribs are good.
Amazing.
Yeah,
can handle that after a day.
He's a
of
chef
on bluefins. Yeah, that's really cool.
A chef. No, that's cool. Definitely. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Lots of great texts, lots of great calls. We sure appreciate all the feedback. I think guys want to win that Rain Shadow rod.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Had a great text. Says great show, you guys. Very interesting, and the 6-pack charter experience. It's really got my wheels turning. My question was about the gear you talked about. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about the tackle setups that you provide on the boat? Also, do you offer different rods and reels for the varying levels of experience? And is it inappropriate for me to bring my gear if we're going on a trip? That's from Kyle and Phillips Ranch.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to bring your own gear, but we do have everything. We have all Penn reels, Penn Fathom reels, and Penn International reels, and then everything is Rain Shadow custom-built rods.
They even have tungsten jigs.
Tungsten jigs.
We do. We got everything on board.
Yeah. We have everything from 25-pound, 40-pound, 60 to 80-pound, and then all of our kite, heavy gear, 130-pound Spectra.
And there's a full setup for everybody on the boat for each.
Wow.
No kidding. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
We got
sets of 6. And sets of
Yeah, and I think we have 8 rail rods, and then if we're fishing 25 and 40 pound, I think we have 8 of everything.
Wow.
And you put a new rail up so you could truly do the rail rod experience on primetime.
Yes.
Yeah.
From bow to stern, you can fish the rail.
Yeah, and the walk around on the boat too. It's like
it's an Elliott.
It's wide
that's
open.
The one.
And the bow, gigantic bow. You like throwing the jig?
You can put 6 guys up there throwing jigs all day.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
and not having to worry about bumping elbows with the next guy.
Man, what a cool deal.
Hey, got a text with no phone number and no name, so no rod for you. But it's a good question. It says so don't forget, put your phone number, put your name, and where you're from. Primetime is a good boat for first timers. And what length of the trip would you recommend for that first timer?
Day and a half trip. It's that gives you the ability to go, fish Cortez or Tanner. That gives you the ability to go down the beach if you need to and fish kelps or yellowfin. That's the shortest trip we really offer. So that's what I would start at.
Yeah.
But then again, a 2.5 day is not that much more difficult on the person,
right?
Because you are so comfortable on the boat.
Yes,
you can kind of do anything.
And you have for a first timer. I mean, you guys are going to be perfect, right?
Yeah, we have 4 crew members on board that are all super fishy and that are all really good. So the ratio, 6 to 4 is a good ratio.
Be a nice experience.
Yeah, we take care of everything for you guys, and we'll help you every step of the way.
And again, if you're splitting it up in 6 guys, it's only another $600 to do an additional full day. To do that 2.5 day. I like to, just because that if your time and pocket can swing it, I love the idea in a 2.5 day, only because it gives the option of what you were talking about, sliding in and adding something else to your trip.
I think it's the best trip.
You guys are clearly bluefin specialists, but it's fun to go do something else, break it up, mix it up, whether it be cod fishing or bass fishing or yellowtail fishing, or just gives you that time to experience multiple things. And again, you guys have all that gear and you're doing it at the highest level. It's a cool opportunity.
Yeah.
And not that much more for doing 2.5 instead of 1.5.
But you say the guys. Now wait a minute. I've got a text here from Frese in Huntington Beach. Says, "Good morning, great show, guys. My question is for Jake and Mikey. I'm thinking about putting together an all-girls trip, and a couple of girls have limited experience. Will the crew help the guests as far as setting up rods, tying knots, jigs, etc.?"
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and that'd be cool.
Whatever.
Have the whole boat.
Cool.
2-person staterooms. One stateroom, like I said, has its own head and shower. So yeah, you'd be open for that, huh?
For sure.
Yeah.
You can handle that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, another fun one. This is good morning, guys. I can't believe we're talking about this. This is my dream. An Elliot's yacht as a charter boat. This is the most legendary SoCal boat. Can you guys give us a little brief history of your boat, such as who owned it in the past and what fisheries it's been involved in?
So it started out, it was built here in Costa Mesa. And then it spent most of its life traveling all over Baja, Mexico, mainland Mexico, fishing all the Rivias, all that stuff down there. And then it's a veteran, crossing to Hawaii.
Yeah, I think it's made the crossing 3 times.
Wow. 3 times to Hawaii.
That's so rad.
It's
Wow.
been
On its own bottom.
There.
Wow.
Yeah, doing a lot of marlin fishing, and then the guys that we bought it from purchased it in the 80s, and then owned it till we bought it.
And the previous name was the Challenge 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a cool piece of history to get to own and then continue to push it at the highest level too.
Yeah.
Real testament to that
you
boat.
can see the boat here from the world headquarters, and you just look at it. It is it's
the real deal, man.
vessel.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's just a really great looking vessel. Well, hey, it's time to find out what's biting on the water with our fishdope.com report. And I got to tell you, we've made a little change here. We want to thank Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide, for many years of helping us out with the fishdope.com, and we got new blood coming in, and all the guys from Fish Dope are going to now contribute to the report. And Yosef Husseini, our angler's realtor, is the guy. And Yosef, welcome. Glad to have you aboard.
Yeah, it's cool. Yosef, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. Anxious to. I think this was a great idea, and lots of fun. Like you said, Pete, you said it best. David's been great, shared a lot of info with us. But this is going to be very fun to get to talk to everybody from the team. And it's just going to add so much of it, including
Jason. We're going to have Danny, Yosef. Yosef's going to be our backbone. But when Yosef's selling real estate or going fishing or something like that, we got to have backup, right, Yosef?
You got it. Well, it comes from Danny and Jason anyway. So
yeah,
know that.
Getting all your information there. But this report is sponsored in part, of course, by fishdope.com, but also by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you get the premier processing experience. Check out the new and easier online booking system. It's so easy, so nice for your long-range trip. Now, with the attention to detail, they have a whole bunch of new team members. They have a full staff. They can get you more same-day capacity. All the reports are back. Everybody says that the new same-day stuff is just fantastic. So check out their Old Town Taylor Street location, or check fishermansprocessing.com and make your reservation today. And Yosef, let's hear it.
Yeah, what's biting?
All right, guys. Well, we'll start up north in Santa Rosa. There are still some sea bass around between Rose and Calcott shoals. They're biting live squid mainly, but they are there. Guys have been getting some bigger models up there as well. Santa Cruz, there's a very good barracuda bite. Danny just called me back and said he's got some guys over at the Arch right now that are on a very, very steady barracuda bite up there. They're eating pretty much everything, it says. They are getting some sea bass up in that area, but it's mainly by the experts that are getting them as, getting sonar fish, finding them at the edge of the kelp, and deploying baits and getting bit. At St. Nick, there are some big halibuts biting. All that's coming on the dropper loop with live squid and sardine. Quite a few boats got them up there yesterday. Santa Monica Bay, the sand bass fishing in the bay has been really, really good, using lead heads and squid, the normal deal. LA Harbor, Horseshoe Kelp area, barracuda is the name of the game. They're chewing very, very well. going to go out to Catalina. Catalina over the last couple of days has been pretty unfishable on the front side. Tons and tons of people, bad fishing fatigue. Sea bass are gone for now. The backside, there's been some really good calico bass and barracuda fishing. If you're out in the Catalina area, that's the only spot right now. There are some squid beds over at Ben Weston. You can make your own bait. The carnage is gone. They have nothing. They're back in port. There is some bonita, bass, and barracuda biting in the area as well, but most of that stuff is short on the front side there. San Clemente, there's a ton of squid near Pyramid Cove. Yellows kind of shut off. They are only biting at night right now, 3 to 7 a.m. The daytime fishing is pretty much gone. On the front side, there was lots of yellowtail until this current shut off. As you know, Clemente doesn't bite, without current. So as soon as that picks back up, it should be rolling. Let's go over to Dana Point. All the calicos you want, pretty much. Normal deal. Anchovies on the edge of the kelp. Super light line, but they are on the chew. Upper La Jolla, we're going to try to get into La Jolla a little bit more. Not a lot of people talk about it, but La Jolla's been pretty slow. There are some hit and miss sea bass on mackerel, normal slow trail deal, or fishing them on a dropper loop.
Wow, sounds
Coronados.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sounds like there's some
Coronados.
Yeah, go ahead with the Coronados.
Dried up. Water dropped 8 degrees down there.
Oh.
So there was some really good fishing. That's pretty much gone. Should be back as this warm water pushes up. But nothing's really biting. If you are going to fish it, there are some yellows that are popping up on the middle grounds, on the ridge there. So if you do end up in that area looking for them, fish the middle grounds, look for fish popping up.
Yeah, well, it sounds great. There's a lot of fish, and of course, fishdope.com has all that information. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Hookup Now is your $30 code. And Joseph, how do we find you for the best advice and real estate information here in Southern California?
You can get me at 619-277-2169 or at sportsmansrealty.com.
Sportsmansrealty.com. Thanks, Joseph, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
Great job.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, that's going to wrap up that fishdope.com report again. Save $20 or save $30 with that code Hookup Now, all lowercase, no space. Saves you $30 on a new membership to Fish Dope. And again, sponsored by Terrafin. Sea surface temperature charts. Focus your fishing on the most productive areas by using Terrafin. Sea surface temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can access your charts from your phone or your mobile device. Check Terrafin.com for more information.
Indeed. Phones are packed. Let's jump into it, Rick.
Let's talk to Hunter, calling us from San Diego this morning. What's up, Hunter? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. This is what I'd like to know. How big's the bait tank of the boat, and what's the longest trip they can do?
We have 3 bait tanks. Our center tank holds about 60, 65 scoops of bait, and then we have 2 main tanks that are, they hold about 20 to 25 scoops.
Plenty of bait for 6 people. Yeah,
I mean,
you're not going to run out. How many day trip could you do with that bait?
I mean, comfortably a 3.5 day.
Yeah.
And then if you're doing a lot of kelp fishing and whatnot, you can easily fish for 4 days.
Yeah, I was going to say that boat that's a lot. That's a lot of bait.
Yeah,
that's the bait that would be similar to boats that are taking 20 and 30 guys, not 6 guys. You know what I mean? Like, you think about the amount that you're going to have to throw and time and fish with. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, and this off season we're actually upgrading our tank too and get a little little bit bigger.
Bigger,
big tank.
We're getting a bigger tank, and we're going to be doing some stuff because we're repowering too.
That's cool.
Wow.
Exciting.
Repowering with new engines.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't wait.
You're putting some money into that boat, boy.
You have to.
Yeah.
You got to stay competitive.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. I mean, clearly you guys have the right platform and the right attitude in doing it the right way. I can't wait to see the progression when new motors are in and you get that fall long trip charter thing dialed in, like, which I'm sure is to come. Like you said, those Mag Bay trips, big fish trips, fishing the lower banks, fishing coastal all the way up. I mean, like, how cool would it be to have the boat 4 or 5 days at a time going down the Baja coast and fishing yellows and all that great tuna and Dorado and Wahoo fishing? Like, that is going to be really fun. And you can tell it's on the horizon for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's something we've always wanted to do, and nobody's really doing it. So.
And that's the platform for it. It just is.
That boat was
so comfortable. Like you said, that's literally what it was made for.
Everything, yeah.
That's going to be fun.
For sure. All right. Hey, you said you had a great text, huh?
Yeah, I thought so. This one was from Cliff in Blossom Valley, and it says, Jake and Mikey, I love the idea of this rig. What's your cruising speed? And then I'm always curious to know how fast she could go if she was on the screws. Good luck this season. Can't wait to see your success, Sean in Blossom Valley.
We cruise at 9 to 10 knots,
Pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. You can't go much faster with the sonar and with the sonar down anyways, but it's a big, heavy boat, so 9 to 10 knots.
Yeah.
I think if she was pushed all the way, probably like 16.
Wow.
Right around there, burning some fuel.
Oh, I'll bet.
Manny writes from San Diego, says, great show. Do you have surface iron gear on board?
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
I got 6 long rods on there.
Yeah.
So they're always on there 24/7.
All right. Great.
That's cool. All right, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls, more of your text messages. Absolutely everything is packed up for the boys from Primetime. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water, because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check out DanaLanding.com for more details.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rockcod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost. But not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedro Sportfishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedro Sportfishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
For
quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportfishing.com.
Hookup, having a great time here this morning, talking fishing on the prime time from Point Loma Sport Fishing. What a great show today has been. An awesome operation. Having a lot of fun.
Yeah, and first time for a long time there's been a line open. 213-432-1090. 213-432-1090. Open right now. You want to have a chance to win that Rain Shadow rod. Hey, Chris is taking the phones, and man the phones. He'll put you up there and try and get you in the rotation. I have a great one here from Dan and Catalina, and he writes, "Good morning, guys. I had the opportunity to take my wife on a tour of the prime time at Day at the Docks. If any guy wants to take their wife on a fishing boat, this is the operation for
doubt.
you. No question. Yacht-worthy accommodations, private staterooms with private bathroom and shower. Iconic Elliott."
Yep.
Truer words were never said.
Yeah,
right there,
well said.
for sure. Thanks for that.
Well, I wanted to read a fun text too. It says, "Primetime Captains, what a great show this has been. Can you guys talk a little bit about the rigging for your big bluefin? I've looked at your social media, and you guys have done some serious damage on the big fish over the years. Do you guys carry flying fish and kites for bait on all the trips? Do we need to provide them?" That's from John in Huntington.
Yeah, so we have all the baits. We have probably every type of bait you can have for flying the kite now. We have multiple kites on board. We have all the helium, across the board for flying kites and catching big fish. We have you covered.
That's awesome.
Nice. All right, let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
You got it. We're going to talk to Kevin. He's called us from Pacific Beach this morning. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. Hey, I had a question. I know you guys talk about fishing down south, maybe like Mag Bay and all that stuff. How do you approach that? How do you get on the boat and take a trip like that?
We're still looking to iron out some of the details, but the ideas that we have in mind right now would be, you could ride the boat down and fly back, after we do some fishing down there and on the way. Or, you could do a fly in, fly out type of deal. And so you would get picked up, either by us or, you'd get shuttled out to the boat, in a ponga or whatnot.
So you're looking at like fall of 2025 for that kind of stuff?
Yes.
You can also ride the boat down and back. We have plenty of fuel.
Yeah, we got enough fuel to do that.
Yeah.
And again,
do you stop in like La Bocana or Abreojos on the way down as well?
Yeah, we'll fish the coast, and then a lot of stuff we'll be doing is fishing offshore, for yellowfin and whatnot. But yeah, we'll depending on the conditions, we'll mix in whatever we need to.
Yeah. I just can't wait. I mean, I know you've got some stuff, and I know it's going to be the fall, and you got big boat projects planned, but I can't wait to see you guys get those things rolling. I think it's going to be really cool.
Going to do well with them.
No doubt.
Hey, Jose in Fallbrook writes, "Hello, guys. When it comes to tungsten jigs, what size, weight are best, and how would you rig them? Treble, assist hooks, split rings, leaders, etc."
We keep it fairly simple, like 180 or 200 gram tungsten, and then, you have your shock leader that's crimped with a split ring, onto the jig.
How heavy is your shock leader?
It's like 200
pound fluoro.
Yeah, fluorocarbon for sure for the abrasion resistance. And then assist hooks to, I think they're maybe a 4/0 Mustad, assist hooks. I'm not a treble hook person myself, but.
And there's different size, Rick, of those tungsten jigs, right?
Sure.
They start anywhere from 60 gram up to 300.
The more, exactly. What you'll find the most quantity are lighter ones that are not necessarily what we're using. I would say a 120 on the low end. What's been most popular is that 180 to 220 gram. Like that's kind of the money is the 180 to 220. There's a couple of manufacturers that make them. The guys nailed it on the rigging side of things. In daytime might be the only thing that you would maybe stealth that up a little bit. Maybe instead of fishing a 200-pound leader, maybe drop it to 100-pound or something like that, knowing that you always have the risk of getting chewed off. But if you're trying to really stealth things up, I mean, that's the beauty of it, is 180-gram tungsten lure. It's like the size of a 100-gram Colt sniper.
Really?
It's small,
Very small.
And I mean, that's
like close to half the size.
Yeah, close to, for sure. You know, I mean, especially if you compare it to a knife jig, that's long and skinny kind of thing. And I mean, how many times have we all heard that, that bluefin's on that small bait, it's eating that anchovy, and like you're putting something down there that is that size, but it's still heavy enough that it pulls line off of a big reel. It can handle some big hooks because it's heavy. It's 180 grams.
Yeah, hard to swallow tying on $100 lure.
No question. I mean, again, I'm not. I'm not trying to make light of it, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But if you want to get bit,
I mean, yes. I again, I'm not trying to say that it's not. It is. It is ridiculous to even talk about a 100-gram jig. But you know what? It's
$100 jig.
But it's $100 jig. But it's often attached to your $2,000 outfit. That's on your $1,000 trip. That's on your, that you paid $150 worth of fuel to get down to the boat. I mean, it's just if that is the thing that is the key to multiple bites. Take my money, you know what I mean? No question about it. Like if that's the ticket to getting the bite and not, it's the smallest price to pay.
Now, is that something like all these jigger guys like Brian and all the West Coast jigger guys, are they doing tungsten things too?
I mean, it's just another new thing, just like the boys talked about. It's different. Most of those speed jigs that those guys are fishing are not tungsten.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it's the newest. Bralo was talking about that on Captain's Concepts a year ago.
Yeah.
It's just the thing that has become very popular right now. Probably because they're, when it really hit was when we were in that period of having nice fish, but not the giant ones. When we had that couple of months stretch of those 25 to 50 pounders, and those fish don't tend to eat the giant jigs as well. If it's 40 pounders and you're fishing a jig that's the size of a paper towel tube, they don't eat it as good, and they eat the bejesus out of those small lures. Tungsten gets down super fast. You're in the zone. You can fish multiple drops and stay vertical instead of getting scoped out real fast. So guys were seeing tremendous success fishing that. And then, if that becomes your lucky lure, and I had a quick limit on that, well, then you go on your next trip and you fish it again, and it's just, the popularity just breeds, more and more and more.
Makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
And when you get confident in what you're fishing.
Man, how true is that? Exactly.
Huge.
I know I'm going to crush with this thing.
Yeah.
Does the color matter?
No.
It doesn't matter at all.
No, I don't think so.
Not one bit.
No.
All right.
Mikey's go-to is, still a torpedo sinker.
I love it. That was my favorite thing at the tackle store, was during the, in the evolution of this bite, when it was all flat falls and it had to be this glow with this stripe, and guys would just bypass anything, but the glow was gone and you couldn't get it, and nobody was willing to get it unless it had this perfect red stripe or whatever it is. Once a torpedo sinker became the best lure, that was out. You don't even get to bitch about not having your favorite color anymore.
Just be confident in what you're doing.
That's fun.
Keep at it.
No doubt. Good advice. Hey, another great text came through, and it once again was on the kite fishing aspect of things. Is how do you guys handle kite fishing versus sinker rigs versus fly line? When do you make the decision to do what?
Wind. It's a lot of wind.
There you go. Condition factor.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's wind, we're going to be flying the kite. But if there's no wind, we're going to be doing sinker rig fishing, stuff like that.
You carry helium?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A handful of bottles at all times.
Yeah. Gotta have it, right?
You can't
Fly in the
leave
balloon
the dock
helium.
without it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
Yeah, they're packed up. How about this time we talk to Rich? Rich has called us from Bradley this morning. Hi, Rich. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Thanks, guys. What an awesome show today. I wondered, do you guys have a seakeeper on your boat? And if you don't, are you planning on getting one?
We don't. We've kicked the idea around of doing something like that. We might do stabilizer fins in the future. Seakeepers, there's a lot of moving parts involved with them, and
for a commercial aspect,
right? It just doesn't work.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
And financially, they're
a little bit.
Doesn't make any sense.
I will say they work very well. I've been on, Mikey and I've done some deliveries with some Vikings and stuff that have them. They work very well, but in a commercial application, it's not the most feasible thing.
The problem too is the hours that you guys would put on one versus a private use.
100%.
If that boat is going once every couple of weeks, that's one thing. You guys are going every single day. I mean, every day, every night, and you just. The problem with them, I've talked to buds about it and said the same thing, like, oh, you're only going to turn it on when you need it. Well, that's not the case. When you got a Seakeeper, it's on. You know what I mean?
It's going to be on.
It's so nice. There is no going back. But it just doesn't make sense in that use of you would put literally thousands and thousands of hours on.
But there's a lot of boats with stabilizer fins. But here's the deal with that Elliott. They ride
exactly.
It's super wide. Don't get the idea that it needs it, because that Elliott is giant beam and it rides amazing.
It does, yeah. At its widest point, it's like 21 feet wide.
Yeah, it's as wide as like the American Angler or something. Right?
I think it's close. I think they're like 24, 25.
Yeah,
but no, it rides very, very well.
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, it's a good one for sure. I have a text here from Kelly in Phillips Ranch and wants to know about the tackle setups. What setups do you provide on the boat, and what are the different setups that you're using right now for the different types of conditions?
Okay. I'll just kind of go through what we carry. So,
sure.
For starting with our light stuff, it's an ADM. Everything's rain shadow. So we use an ADM. It's a 20 to 50 pound outfit with a Fathom 15 2-speed, and then we jump.
What pound
up.
test do you have on that?
We're fishing 50 pound Spectra, and then we're fishing anything from 25 and 30 pound top shots.
Great. You using fluorocarbon top shots or mono top shots?
We probably have I don't know. What would you say? 25 yards of mono, and then we do a short fluorocarbon leader.
Gotcha.
Next setup is a 30 to 60 pound, and then we're fishing Fathom 30s on that. And then up from that, we have our sinker rig, 60 to 80 pound, and we're all fishing, Fathom 60 and 80s with 80 and 100 pound Spectra. And then after that, we're doing, all rail rods in various lengths and weights, 50 to 130 primarily, 80 to 130. And those are all international 2-speeds.
Wow.
20 to 50s.
Really doing it.
Yeah. No, the gear is on the boat is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you like most about those rain shadow rods?
Durability.
Yeah.
And, their components, I would say, are the best. We've put years and years on some of the gear. We still have some of the first rods that we've got from them, and they're holding up amazing.
They're doing
the components on the rods are just unreal. That you're not. We're going out there every day, and we're not worrying about an eye breaking or something like that, or tripping up the line,
or a reel seat falling apart or something. Grips, whatever. It's top notch material.
All right, let's jump back in the phones, Rick.
Got it, man. How about this time we talked to Ben? Called us from Chula Vista. Good morning, Ben. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Prevent everything from going back.
Hi, Ben.
You know what I'm saying?
Ben is Ben.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Hey, there he is.
What's up, buddy?
Hello. Good morning, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, so my question is it seemingly, what are the major challenges from fishing less people? And obviously the major advantages would be less tangles, but are there any disadvantages having less people? Like, there's not as many jigs going up and down the water column when you're stopping on stuff. And, I guess that's my, question.
Oh, darn.
I'll take that disadvantage.
There's definitely the nighttime disadvantage for us in losing, participation, and not having as many jigs in the water at night. I think it does, have its place on the sport boat, when you have that many jigs in the water. But during the daytime, it makes all the world of a difference, especially for these big fish. You're gonna fight a fish together versus dealing with 25 people walking around them, and possibly losing the fish.
And tangles.
Yeah, your chances
waiting for your tag number in the hat.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Hopefully, by the time nighttime comes around, you're already too tired from pulling on all your kite fish in the daytime, and you've eaten a big ribeye from Chef Mike, and you're sleeping as you should be at nighttime.
Yeah, last year that was the trend. We try to get it done during the day to where guys don't
worry about it.
So nighttimes are sleeping like it's supposed to be.
Right.
So to quote Pete Grossbeck.
Exactly. Yeah. You'll be on the grounds, but who cares, man? I'll be sleeping.
Yeah. So the other cool thing about primetime is that the walk around. Like you hook a fish, and it is like the ultimate walk around here. It's like there's not going to be very many people in your way when you're walking around.
Nope.
Tangles to deal with, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And then there'll be a guy right behind you with a gaff when it's time.
Yep.
Plus, the other factor too is you don't have to put that many fish on the boat to have a great day.
Exactly. We're just trying to have a good time. We don't need to catch all the fish in the world. And most of our guys, don't need to catch, 20 giant fish.
Yeah.
And your ratio of crew members to passenger is insane. Four people to only 6 passengers. There's going to be a guy with you coaching you through the whole way. If you're, we've had several questions today. I'm new to big fish fishing, or I'm a first timer. I'm bringing my wife. Like, you're going to have somebody there coaching you through the entire process the whole time.
No doubt.
That's really cool. Well, hey, I had another fun text come through. It says, "Good morning, guys. My question's for Jake and Mikey. When you guys fish on your own time, what's your favorite thing to target? Where do you like to fish?"
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, fishing rock cod, fishing yellowtail, it doesn't matter, But I would say yellowtail fishing's my favorite. Yeah. There's just something about it.
What about you, Mikey?
I would say yellowtail fishing. I enjoy fishing the bay, too, for halibut and stuff like that. Bass, but you can't beat yellowtail fishing.
Yeah. Are you fishing your days off?
Absolutely.
I knew that was going to be your answer when you described yellowtail fishing at the Coronado Islands. Like, there was no doubt. Like, that's clear.
It's
that's
so hard to beat.
It's the
Nothing's
best.
better.
It is the best.
Yeah,
No.
I love it. Fishing a structure, just getting lunched by a big yellow like I did the other day.
Especially when you earned it. You saw the fish flare and you saw the bait come up and you had a target and you made the cast right and the lure landed where it was supposed to and you got halfway back to the boat and your handle stops. Like, there is nothing cooler than that.
Nothing better, for sure. Hey, John in Ontario has a question for Jake and Mike. Do you guys have the ability to fish the kite on the boat, and is a boat wife friendly? We already kind of covered a lot of that, but so you guys fish the kite a lot.
Yeah, whenever we have the opportunity, we're flying the kite. As long as there's enough signal of that big fish around, that we'll be ready to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot. Everybody talks about code groups, and of course, guys that are on Fish Dope, they have their own code group there. But you guys are part of that Port Loma Sport Fishing code group, so you know where the fish are and where to be because you're part of that group, right?
Yeah, I mean, and nowadays these fish make big moves. For example, one of our last trips, we had to make a 35 or 40 mile move in an afternoon to get to where we needed to be for the night.
Think about that, a 40-mile move.
And when you're doing 10 knots, I mean, it's like that's a gamble.
Yeah.
But it paid off, and we had a phenomenal night. But yeah, it's a combination of skiff guys, yacht guys. You got to be able to talk to everybody.
You guys grew up. Grew up doing this.
Yeah,
have a lot of friends in the industry. So.
Yeah, so you know where it is and what's going on.
It's important to know what's going on. You can never have too much information.
Yeah, and communication. How do you communicate on the boat?
I mean, we have various radios, satellite, dispatch radio, and nowadays everybody's got Starlink, so you can just pick up the phone. Give your buddy.
You have Starlink?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. That's all you need.
I was going to say that was Larry's question here. It says, "Good morning, guys. I love the sounds of this and I'm ready to book a trip. My only issue is I need to be able to check in with work." He says, I don't have to be connected all the time, but I have to be able to check in morning, afternoon, and night. Are there any communication such as Wi-Fi available on prime time?
We have Wi-Fi, and you're more than welcome to use it responsibly, and it's there for your using.
Yeah. So Starlink, which is like being on cable, super fast, unbelievable stuff.
It's faster than my house.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah,
and that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I totally get what he's saying. I'm not trying to be on there all the time, but if you got to be able to put out a fire, you can do a 2-day on the prime time, check in, get things handled, and then get right back to fishing.
I'm working today. Don't worry, I'm on it. Oh wait, I got to go catch this bluefin. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's try and jump back in the phone.
You got it. How about we talk to Chuck, who's called us from Dana Point this morning? What's up, Chuck? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey man, I'm frothing at the mouth. This is like the penthouse on water for guys,
Yeah.
You take your wives, but, that's our thing. Now, can you pick your menu? Do you have a menu that you could go through and pick what you want for dinner? And I haven't heard anything about white sea bass. You guys chase those guys? And how about a lobster calico bass trip at night, and then go to the island, pull out some of those inflatables and fish the coves? That just sounds too fun.
We can definitely work with you on the food and work with our chef. We don't have a set menu, for every trip, but you're more than welcome to give, what you want to eat, and we can accommodate you for what we can do on board too. But yeah, we can do inshore trips and go fish lobster, white sea bass. It's your trip. Whatever you want to do, we'll do if it's feasible and biting.
Yeah. So if you're like a vegan or
right
something, and you come aboard and you just tell Mikey, "Here's what I have to eat," you cover all that.
Yeah. Usually, if when people have either a dietary restriction or they have a preference, they'll kind of get in contact with us before, and I'll start a group chat with Mike or whatever.
I'm bringing my crew of construction buds, and I want to have steaks over our final dinner, whatever it might be, something like that. You guys will figure it out.
We'll work with you.
Love it.
How nice is that? Yeah,
that's cool. Hey,
thanks, Chuck, for the call. Appreciate it.
Want to sneak another text in there? Says, "Good morning, guys. I've never had a chance to fish the prime time, but I have had the good fortune to fish on the Tomcat, also a 70-foot Elliott. There is literally no better platform on the water than to be hooked up on the bow pulpit all by yourself on a big Elliott. I can't believe that this is now a charter operation option. Love what you guys are doing." Larry from El Cajon.
Yeah, that's cool. We were next to the Tomcat for a little while when we were rebuilding the boat.
That's cool.
We were parked right next to it.
And they're sister ships?
Pretty much. They're very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
That's the cool thing about the Elliots, too, is like a lot of them, though, all have little quirks and differences that
the craftsmanship.
Totally. Like you can always tell the lines, and then you can see what the owners did and what fit their fishery the best, and however the difference from the fly bridge changed from this boat to the other, and the pulpit was bigger on this one because these guys wanted to stick stored fish or whatever it might be. Like all of them have little quirks, but the lines of a big Elliott are sure hard to miss.
Where were they built?
Costa Mesa, I believe.
Costa Mesa, okay. A lot of boats built in Costa Mesa. Searcher was built in Costa Mesa. Yeah, Ditmar Donaldson's, all the Ditmars.
Ditmar was up there. Cruise on, everybody.
Yeah. Imagine what Costa Mesa looked like back then.
I know, right?
Right? Now look at it.
I love those like old photos of when the boats were leaving the shipyard and like going down Newport Boulevard. There's a 70-foot Sportfishing,
right.
going down the road. That sure would be cool to see one day.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there'd be room for a 70-foot Sportfisher going down the Newport Boulevard today. Right?
I don't think so.
Wouldn't happen. Yeah. A real quick question here from Alex in San Carlos. He says we've heard that it's wife friendly. Is it kid friendly? Is primetime sport fishing kid friendly?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have high railings all around the boat, so it's super safe.
You have a lot of kids that ride with you?
Yeah, a good amount.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Again, you want to provide
paradise.
Yeah, you want to provide that rad family experience. I mean, what a cool family trip that is. It's just you and the fam getting to do it right. Very, very fun. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a brand new custom rail rod. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way in the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Offshore fishing is on. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. For bluefin tuna and yellowtail, nothing beats the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. Shimano's Speedmaster 2 is also an extremely durable, high-performance lever drag reel for the more budget-minded angler. Both the Talica and Speedmaster 2 feature Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest of load. For all your Shimano, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
It's time for the Power Pro 30-second seminar. I like catching big fish, and I like smaller reels, too. How do I make sure that I have the capacity to land the big one? I fill my reels with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro, so you get more line on that small reel. Power Pro has a complete series of highly effective lines, including the brand new Power Pro Depth Hunter Offshore, with different colors every 100 feet. Perfect for flatfall fishing. Want to learn more? Check PowerPro.com.
Hey, San Diego, Cellathon means big savings, great selection, and only 6 days to save. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers now through July 8th and get offers on the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs. It's the Ford 4th of July Cellathon, and that means now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end July 8th. Only at your San Diego County Ford dealers. They'll be glad to hook you up.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Bizzano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com. LetsTalkHookup.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. What a great time this was this morning. You guys,
a new record on text.
It was wild,
and a lot of phone calls. Thanks to Chris for manning those busy phones too.
Yeah,
and,
no doubt.
Thanks to all your texters and callers and listeners too. It was a great show.
All eligible for the big win.
So
now Mike's going to do us the honor and flip the prize coin. We'll let her hit the deck here and see what we got. Today we have a caller as the winner. Congratulations, Baja Ben in Chula Vista. You have yourself a brand new Salty Dog Custom Batson Enterprises rail rod. You are so stoked. Beautiful rod.
Pick that up at Fisherman's Landing and be ready to attach it to a big reel for sure. And guys, if we want to book prime time sport fishing, want to go aboard, want more information, what's the best way?
Give us a call, 619-370-8819. That's my number. You can look us up at primetimesportfishing.com, and you can call Mikey.
That's 619-813-0747.
And you have charter dates available?
We do.
You're going to put some open party stuff. You'll put that up on Point Loma Sport Fishing when it's available, but you'll let people know on your website, too, if they monitor your website. Do you have like an email sign-up kind of thing, too?
There's an email list. We'll send out the dates of the open party trips, and then as our charter calendar is up to date, so there's online booking, or you can book directly through one of us.
Yeah. Well, best success to you guys.
You guys have a very bright future in front of you.
Absolutely,
this is going to be great.
We're stoked.
It truly is a one-of-a-kind operation for sure, and you're going to do well. Definitely, no doubt about it, because you're fishy guys, and you're ready to help get people out on the water. But wow, what a great weekend of shows. Thanks a lot for that. And again, thanks to Chris for manning the phones, busy phones there, and thanks to Adam for all he does on our Let's Talk Hookup app. Of course, Adam does a great job updating that app every day. You can follow it. Of course, sign up for our email blast. Again, this week it came from Fish the Surf, but next week we'll have it all straightened out as far as coming from Let's Talk Hookup. We just had a new server that's doing that, and that's the deal. So next Saturday, Michael Folks from Inside Sport Fishing and the history of sport fishing. He'll be discussing that new video series that he's coming out with next Saturday. Always pleasure having our good buddy Michael on the show. Then next Sunday, Dale Hightower from Seagar talking fluorocarbon next Sunday. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.